Yesterday, Netflix released the trailer for their new comedy You People starring Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill. Despite the all-star cast, the trailer is receiving criticism, and most of it is going towards its writer-director, Kenya Barris, for revisiting the same themes that audience are now tired from. The casting of the movie and the familiar story has also been discussed online. Today, we have our comedy hype analysts, Danielle Miller, Capone, and Pierre calling to the show to give their thoughts and reactions and to talk about why we feel that people don't seem to be as excited for this new movie. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
So you want to marry my daughter?
Yes, I do.
So do you hang out in the hood all the time, or do you just come up here for our food and women?
It would be a very nice baby. Mixed race people are really awesome. You know, you have like Mariah and Derek Jeter, and then
Now, as I mentioned, there's been a lot of reactions online, but before diving into those, I want to get you all's reactions. Pierre, I'll start with you. What was your reaction when you saw this clip?
Well, happy to see the real GOAT, Eddie Murphy, working again, doing something. I'm always excited about seeing Eddie Murphy. He's part of my childhood, my growing up, so I'm happy to see him working. Kenya Barris, has been on a roll. He's a black man that's in Hollywood making a lot of movies, hiring a lot of people, keeping people working all the time. The only thing I didn't think like was Jonah's, I don't know what the word is. Now, I'm not gonna say accent, but he was extra white. Like, it doesn't have to be that white. Like, hey, how's your daughter? How's your wife? Everybody going? I didn't feel that. It was a little much, just that. But, from that clip, I can't judge that whole thing from just that clip.
Absolutely. Capone, let me kick it over to you. What was your reaction when you first saw this trailer surface?
I have to agree with Pierre. I'm a huge Eddie Murphy fan, and just to see him back on the screen, I'm very excited about. The Jonah did look a little too old to be playing their son-in-law, should I say? But I'm definitely going to check it out. Regardless of what the script might be or what they're saying it might be, they got the trailer. All you get from the trailer, I'm looking for funny. I don't care about the content of black and white. It's fun. If it's going to be, I know it's going to be funny. And I think Nia Long playing the side of Eddie Murphy is great, especially with all the controversy going on now. It's good to see her in the film.
Absolutely. Danielle, let me bring you in. I'd love to get your perspective. When you saw this trailer surface, what was your first reaction to it?
My first reaction to it was it looks funny. It looks entertaining just by the cast. Again, I have to agree with Pierre and Capone. Nice to see Eddie Murphy out again. And it's also great to see Nia Long. And then when I saw the names that came across, Lauren London, it's nice to see her out again too. But what I really wanted to see was more of it, because they only gave us like a little taste, right? So I was trying to figure out, is it just like in this cafe that they're talking? Is there more to the movie? And then there's also the song, What's the Difference Between Me and You? And then there's also the title, You People. So I'm really interested in seeing more, and if there is maybe a deeper component of this storyline mixed with comedy.
Absolutely, and I think if the job was to start conversation, they've definitely done that, because there's been a lot of conversations online on both ends and a lot of criticism. So I want to read that and then try to get to the solution. So one user says, list out a couple things that they didn't like. One being, why is Nia Long name not in the tweet? 2, Lauren is too old to play Nia's daughter. 3, Lauren is biracial. Why is she playing the daughter of Eddie and Nia? 4, Kenya Barris really need to move past this obsession with biracials. I'll skip this offering. Another user then says, I hope Kenya Barris eventually heals from whatever happened to him that has him feeling the need to make every project he does defend interracial relationships and being biracial. Because at this point, I'm starting to think the ancestors were the Loving versus Virginia. So I'm going to come to you, Pierre. What do you think people are upset about? I've seen several tweets talk about the casting. I've seen several tweets talk about Kenya and his, the subject matters that he discusses. Why do you think people are upset after seeing this trailer, Pierre?
I will answer that, but first I give 2 fucks about why people are upset, because this man is working some people together. Now we can sit there, it don't matter. What is the committee that filmmakers and people have to go through to talk to? What committee is it? Is it all right we do this, y'all? Is it all right? Where is that committee? You know what I'm saying? Who's the one going to tell us what's right and what's wrong? Of course, it's just your opinion. We're harping on the negativity. I guarantee there's so many people who will think positively about him putting this out. So we don't talk about that. We have obsession with the negative, the one I don't like it. You know, don't watch it. Don't watch it. But watch something else. There's other shit to watch. There's dance, hip hop movies all day long. I see 3 or 4 of them damn being made. So to me, to say who don't like it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I hope Kenya Barris, this thing does well. Now, if it doesn't do well, then we'll talk afterwards. I like to come back and revisit and say, well, why did the movie not do well? What happened if it does really well? Then what do we say there? What do we say to the haters then? The movie did really well. What? So, man, go on with them haters, man. If they don't like it, they don't watch it.
Why do you think they are upset though? You know, I definitely agree.
Because this new generation just wants it to be perfect. Like, you know, you only have like 2 African movies. We just did 2 African movies. We did Black Panther and then the sister Viola Davis. We gave you that movie. So no one was crying about too many of that. So we gave him that. Now he's doing the biracial. I said, that's his lane. People have different lanes. You know, don't knock enough lane. I didn't knock Black Panther or the Viola Davis movie. Man, we need the movies. And no, I can't say, oh, we gotta be Black Africans, gotta be work. Man, go on with that. So same with over there with Kenya. If Kenya feels like that's what he wants to do and people hate, I don't know why they have an insatiable thing and say, I don't like it no more. Is that we don't want nothing white in anything? I know it's my mother's side, my white side talking. I get it. But is that what we're saying now? You can't have no whiteness in nothing. You can't have a white character in a movie or biracial or Black people hating it now. They mad about it now. You know?
Paul, let me bring you in and get your thoughts. You know, when it comes to people being upset, we're seeing all different things online, right? You have, you know, the cast, or whether it's Eddie Murphy or, you know, Kenya. Like, there are so many things that people are saying online. Why do you think people are upset?
Pierre said it very well. Who gives a goddamn about people upset? Before I answer that question, I just have to give a big shout out to Pierre for that T-shirt. It's incredible. The T-shirt is incredible. So, all right, back to the question, Symphony. People are upset because basically we don't even know who's upset. We don't know if it's the Black people or the white people. But racism is something that is so powerful that there are people who still utilize it to keep us divided, whatever. My thing is, we know racism exists. We also know that interracial relationships exist. So love who you want to love, sleep who you want to sleep with. Let me make this clear before somebody in the comments say something. I've never, ever dated or been with a white woman, but I will say this. Whoever you love, whether they're white or Black, whether you're interracial relationship, don't let nobody stop you from loving. We're all human, and that's the way I look at it. I am very, very proud to be a Black man, but it gets sickening with this racism and all this dividing stuff, and I get tired of it. So whoever hating on the movie before we even see it is stupidity.
Danielle, I want to bring you in. Help me out here. You know, there's a lot online. I know I only I read a couple of tweets, but there's so many more. Why do you think people are upset after seeing this trailer?
I think this generation is so woke that they're asleep. Let me first say that.
True.
It's like you try to suck the energy out of everything and really try to narrow it down about race. Where was this energy for Shonda Rhimes when it came to Bridgerton, when the Duke and the Viscounts came together? And where was this energy? I don't get it. I don't understand how you can be upset over a 2-minute trailer. There was nothing much that was given but a bunch of question marks and a good ha ha he he moments. So it just disturbs me a lot of the time how we can be so negative minded towards situations and really try to hang down on a race aspect. And then also in the process, we're degrading each other as well, because how dare you say Lauren London is too old to play Nia Long's daughter? That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. So what we do is very, 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 very interesting to me, especially how we choose to nitpick situations. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
No, absolutely. And I want to close out with this, not just yet with the solution. So start thinking about that. But before we dive forward, Capone, I'm going to come back to you because, you know, in addition to the conversations being about Kenya, there's also been conversations As you mentioned, this is the first time in a long time a lot of people have seen Eddie Murphy. We're just excited to see him back on the screen. So I want to come to you when it comes down to, you know, Eddie Murphy's movie choices. There are people that are kind of on both ends of it. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on, you know, Eddie Murphy's movie selections?
Let's just say I wish I had those type of selections. You know, you cannot knock a brother for accepting what he feels is right for him, or if you go by what the critics say or the people who are negative about it, it's never going to be a perfect situation. Eddie Murphy has elevated to something different than what he was when he was younger. And I'm very happy that he still has choices, to make. A lot of people in this business don't have choices. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't had too many movie scripts thrown at me. And I started my movie career very early. So, you know, it's a good thing. You know, the powers that be are still putting him in a position to where he still can get on screen and make us laugh. More power to him. Eddie Murphy can't do nothing wrong to me.
Pierre, yeah, thank you. Pierre, let me bring you in with that same question. You know, a lot of people are having conversations about Eddie Murphy's movie selections. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. And also, you know, does business interfere with that? I know Capone kind of brought that up, so I'd love to add that piece in. Does business, you know, interfere with making good movies or what people may deem as good movies? Pierre?
It takes just as much energy to make a bad movie as it does a good movie. Okay, just y'all realize that it takes just as much energy to make a bad movie as make a good movie. At the end, we only find out what it is, you know, by the masses. Talking about Eddie Murphy's selection, first of all, think about what he selected and gave us that brought us joy that we still talk about to this day. Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours, Coming to America, The Clumps, all that. I'm not going to sit there and push him away because today these younger kids don't like what he's doing. Like, that ain't enough, man. That man brought a whole. You ain't gonna hit a home run every time. And who's to say what's a home run? I heard a movie called Mr. Church that he was in. They said it was a great movie. He did a great job, but no one talked about Mr. Church. Coming to America came out. Why wouldn't you do that movie? It was a great success the first time. You know, Mr. Church was more dramatic. So to say what's his selection and what's he picking right now, and that man's picking movies. He's picking movies that he feels comfortable with doing. Now, because you don't like it, don't mean it's a wrong choice. You know what I'm saying? It's a choice for him. He's made enough movies to pick what he wants to pick. Now, if you don't like what he's picking, that's fine. You might like some of his newer comedians that do stuff. And, you know, that's fine with that too. But to say Eddie Murphy's choices are this or that, Eddie Murphy's choosing what Eddie Murphy wants to choose. And Eddie Murphy deserves to get to choose whatever he wants. If you're not in that same field and don't feel him, let's say you're 21, 22, 25 years old, under 30, which is on social media. Yeah, this ain't for you. Go get another Kevin Hart movie. Great. You know, Kevin Hart doing his thing. But Eddie Murphy already cemented who he is. And he can make the choices he wants. And if you're not in his lane, if you're under 30, it might not be for you.
Right. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Pierre, before I move on. Do you think people's expectation, because of what he did from Boomerang, do you think that's what's spilling over into the projects that we're seeing him in, where there's this expectation because of what he did with Boomerang needs to, you know, people are kind of expecting that now?
No, that's exactly right. It's the same thing when Janet Jackson puts out an album. People don't buy it like they used to. You dog her for that. Say, well, damn, that album whack again now. And now, think about the body of work she does. Every album that comes out with 20 songs, trust me, all 20 of them ain't bangers and stuff like that, okay? But we still look at the whole totality of the album and say, hey, and Eddie Murphy has a totality of work. So, yeah, maybe they back there thinking about everything should be a home run. But you got to remember, he made some movies that weren't home runs. He made Best Defense. He made, 1,000 Words and stuff. So I just respect the stuff that he's a black man working, doing what he did. He's a legend. Okay, he's a legend when it comes to comics, mixed in even with white legend comedians. He's one of the top ones. And I'm not going to bring that brother down because someone doesn't like what he's doing today, this movie, whatever it is. So
I couldn't agree with you more. He's definitely a legend, and it felt good to see him on screen. Danielle, let me bring you in with that same question. You know, the conversation of Eddie Murphy, people are kind of talking as if, you know, his latest projects aren't as good as what we've seen with Boomerang. So I'd love to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts about Eddie Murphy's movie selections that we've seen over the last few years?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all don't come for me. I like Eddie Murphy. I do believe that he is a legend and he's given us great movies over the years. But Coming to America too, I was like, Okay, this is interesting. It looks like he just rounded up all of his people and he just said, I have this money Amazon gave me. Let's make this movie. It looks really, really put together. However, even though that last Eddie Murphy movie was not a favorite of mine, it's literally probably like at the bottom of the poll. I can't judge him as yet off of this little trailer. I can't. I can't judge my expectations off of this. It's funny so far, but I can't judge his performance just yet. Because it's literally just a 2-minute trailer. I understand the thing about Boomerang, and his other legendary movies, Harlem Nights. I understand that, but again, it's like what Pierre and Capone said. It's you. You just take you. He's just, how should I say, like broadening his portfolio into other roles. You can't stick with the same role all the time. He can't be the African prince all the time. He cannot be the guy in Harlem Nights all the time. So he's just expanding his portfolio. And as an actor, you play around with different roles. And sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. But in this case, I can't really say anything as yet because it hasn't come out as yet. And it's just a 2-minute clip.
Absolutely. No, I definitely love that breakdown. So let's get to the point. Let's get to the bottom of it because I wonder what is the solution to all this? You know, we see things, especially coming from our people, and I want to focus on our people because it's, you know, we want opportunities in Hollywood, but then, you know, when those come and it's not exactly what's wanted, you know, there's criticism where there's, oh, I'm not going to show any support. So Capone, I'll start with you. For you, what do you think is the solution? You know, should there be some code that Black creatives stick to, or, you know, or what does that look like? What is the solution to move forward, Capone?
I'm gonna say, I wish I knew how Danielle say it, but I'm gonna just say it in my language. It's their game. It's their game, and we're players in their game. And sometimes, with even all the creativity we might have, there's somebody that has to have a say so. And not everybody is going to give you the green light on what you think is a great movie. So therefore, in order to make a living, you have to play by some of their rules. And Danielle says it so well. I want to say that something she says, but it's their game. And, you know, I'm happy to have the opportunities to be in a position where I'm still relevant and making people laugh. And even us talking today keeps me relevant. So I am not tripping over nothing else. And whatever it takes for us to keep elevating ourselves, let's keep doing it.
Pierre, let me come to you next. When it comes to the solution of it, for you, what do you think the solution is, you know, when we're seeing instances like this for our community?
We need to find out who the hell they is, because they got a lot of mouth and shit, okay? Every time I turn around, they say, they did, they won't. Who is they? Who the hell is they? First of all, a Black man making a movie in Hollywood is tremendous. Trust me, in a TV show. Are we not opening our eyes? Why must we as Black people be yanking them down? It might not be your type of movie, I get it. But drill rap ain't my kind of rap. Trap music ain't my type of music necessarily. I'm coming from old school hip hop. I'm not gonna hate on drill and trap. There's an audience for that. There's an audience for what he's doing now. Who is they to say that's wrong to do? Who is they? Then they get to home with the computer thing. This is right, this is right. What are you doing? I think it's fucked up that you got a job working for the white man, brother. Get your ass, be an entrepreneur, brother. But you want to sit there and talk about, I hate this, they. Why don't you go do something? Except going to work every morning for the white man tap dancing and shit. And we'll talk about what Black men should do, or Black Barris should do. Be happy that he's doing a movie. He's employing a lot of people. That man has given money to Black school. I think it Clark $1 million and stuff. Come on now. Is that trailer so horrible? It's beating you up? What it is you're under 30, most likely. I know it is. You don't get it. It ain't for you. If it ain't for you, I have no problem with Eddie Murphy doing it. Thank God Eddie Murphy's doing it. Thank God Kenya Barris is putting some people to work. And I don't see nothing wrong with that trailer. You know what I'm saying? I just, like I said, you know, I think the corniness of Jonah Hill's a little, vernacular, or however you want to call it, is a little off to me. You know, he don't have to be that white. But let me see the movie. Let's see it. Come back. Let's revisit it after it's out. I don't want to hear from they all the time. They hiding.
Now, I do want to make sure I say, and Danielle, I'm going to come to you next. As a member of the Under 30 Club, I just want to say that they do not speak for me, okay? They do not speak for me as the Under 30 Club. But let me, Danielle. Danielle, Danielle, let me come to you next because I do think, you know, and in particular on our show, you know, we're all Black platform talking about these things, but I think solution, and we think that solution is so important. So I'd love to get your thoughts. What do you think is the solution when we continuously see situations and instances as this one, Danielle?
Let me say, you cannot police a creative mind. The persons that created this movie, that wrote this movie, that is a creative mind. They have their nature. I understand that people feel like Kenya does the same things all the time, but that is his creative turn on the world that he sees. That's how he expresses himself. He is a creative. He is an artist. Once you have a budget, once you have that money, whatever you put out there that's in your mind, that's what's gonna get put out there. We don't say this when Tyler Perry puts out movies and shows, and we see the same reoccurring things inside those movies and shows that sometimes reflect trauma. But that is how Mr. Perry sees things. And like I think I think it was Capone said, like all of those aspects of the world is necessary for us to see. So the solution, there is no solution. You just have to let a creative be a creative, and you choose what you want to watch and you choose what you want to see. And one thing that is very prominent is the fact that there is nothing new under the sun. This movie so far, and what I've seen with the small plot, is not something that is new. It is an interracial love, whether it be, there is another movie on Netflix that people was praising the other day that was about a law being changed in the state of Virginia that allowed interracial couples to marry. People was praising that movie, but now you choose to pull down this one. At the same time, it was like, Guess Who with Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher. We love that movie. We absolutely love that movie. It's the same plot. And then there was also Guess Who, which was a tribute to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner that stars to Sidney Poitier. We love that. We love Sidney. So why is it that we are choosing to police Kenya? Because, oh, it's the same thing over and over and over again. That is his artistic expression. He has the budget to do it. So therefore, if that's how he sees the world and if that's how he chooses to tell a story, then let the man do it. Everything cannot be a slave movie. Everything cannot be something about traumas. Everything cannot be about just Black love. There is also other aspects that happen in the world that we see all the time, such as interracial love. So let the man tell the story.
I like that. And, you know, Kenya has brought up a lot of great subjects in his TV shows. You know what I'm saying? Juneteenth and all. He's educated the white masses who watch that show. Trust me, he's done his job over there. But we don't care about Ryan Coogler. You know, Ryan Coogler does Black Panther. He did Creed. He does Fruitville Station. It's about racism and about, you know, trying to survive as a Black man. We're cool with that. We're like, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But as soon as a light-skinned brother starts talking about mixed relationship, oh, enough of that shit. Well, enough of Ryan Coogler doing Black shit about Black Panther and Black Power and Black. How about that? How about I say that to him? Enough of that. Show me some other shit, Ryan Coogler. No, if that's his wheelhouse, I respect that. Do your thing, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Talk about racial issues and stuff in your movies and Black Power. I'm fine with that. But let's not get on Kenya's case because he's light-skinned. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I definitely love you all, you know, chiming in on this, but also offering a solution. I too believe, you know, our community needs to keep sight on the bigger picture. So many times I think Danielle hit it perfect. Like we nitpick so much to try to make everything an issue when there's so many other beautiful things. As was mentioned, I think some of you mentioned, you know, he hired Black people. Eddie Murphy is still relevant. That is not seen in that way where people, you know, from back in the day are still relevant to today. So I think he's still giving opportunities. He's opening up the floor. Blackish did an amazing job. Black AF, like Kenya has done so many things, and he always makes sure to open up the door for Black actors to come in, do their thing, and succeed. So, you know, I think we just got to keep our eye on the bigger picture and stop nitpicking every little thing along the way. But of course, before we head out, you know, all that good stuff, I need to know some more good stuff and what you got going on. So Mr. Capone, I'm going to start with you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Hey, man, I'm going to be at NJ Pack for a Christmas show, December 23rd. Let me tell you, this is the biggest show of my career, not only because it's a 3,000 plus seater, but I'm putting my own money up because I believe in myself and I believe in Team Capone. Now, you can go to njpack.com and get the tickets, or you can hit me on Instagram, Comedian Capone. And you should know how to spell comedian by then. Hit me up. I got personal tickets. We'll ship them to you. I just had to get this show sold out. Thank y'all for all the support that you have already given me. God bless y'all. See y'all on the 23rd. It's Christmas time.
Pierre, let me kick it over to you. What do you have coming up, and how can people follow you?
I'm leaving for Germany this week. I'm going to do some shows in the basement. So if you know anybody out in Kaiserslautern, Wiesbaden, and or Grafenlachen, something. I'll be over there in Germany. And I get back on Sunday, got a show Sunday at the DC Winery in the Washington, DC area, the DC Winery. I'm headlining a comedy show with some great comedians. Sinquilla, I think Tony Woods is on the show. So check that out. You can follow me at Comic Pierre. If you don't know how to spell Pierre, look it up. You know, shit, you got Google. Yeah, look it up. I mean, look it up. Damn all that. You ain't got to know how to spell it. But yeah, so that'll be it, man. So please, and continue to support my my half truths. Thank you for all the love I'm receiving from you, man. Thank y'all so much, and that's where we at with it.
Absolutely, and last and certainly not least, Miss Danielle, I see you changed the scenery on us as well. You're not in the zoo anymore, so let us know, what do you have coming up, and of course, how can people follow you?
Symphony Tropsy. Tropsy is another Bahamian word. That means she's messy. She's getting messy sometimes. So what I have coming up is I am leaving the under 30 club. So I will be hitting 30 really soon. That is coming up in my life. And this is just a word of encouragement, because I know people always say a woman shouldn't share her age, and a lot of women are insecure about getting older, but we have a singer-songwriter, he passed away, the great Ronnie Butler, and he has a song that says, just like wine, I get better with time. Champagne, my name, caviar from afar. So just remember that as you get older and you go into the new year. I would sing the song, but I don't have a singing voice. I have a talking voice. Other than that, I'm just on social media, continuing to spread this liquid sunshine to the world, showing you out and about inside the Bahamas, as well as my YouTube channel, Danielle, where there is my show called Sis, that is geared towards issues that we don't talk about as women, or even us in the community. There's some shows that some guys will love as well. And you can follow me on Instagram. That is DEEA Miller.
Absolutely. Well, as always, I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic. And as for our audience, you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts about people calling out Kenya Barris for his trailer, You People? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in those comments. Mm-hmm.
Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description, or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.
Crazy how some people misjudge me. Think they know who I am more than I know who I am. Most of my life, when people see me, they always think, is he one of us or one of them? What does that mean, one of us or one of them? Am I us or am I them? Even though I've proven who I am many times to people, I guess I gotta do it again. Oh, I'm gonna do it again. Trust me. And I'm here to deliver the truth. And one thing about the truth, they can't deny it if it's yours.